Mabel Randall is on the Glory, 980 AM WDDO. Don't miss Mabel Randall every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Don't miss this amazing show only on the Glory, 980 AM WDDO. If you've been wondering where your old-time gospel favorites are, well, they are right here. I'm on my way. See the day. Every weekday at 9 a.m., where Vertice inspires us, lifts us, and takes us back with Walking Down the Lane. Come hear the oldies with Vertice on 980 AM WDDO. The Glory. Middle Georgia, no one does it like The Glory. 107.9 FM and 980 AM WDDO.
Hi, this is Ortiz.
And this is Don.
We are the operators and owners of Roscoe Tours, and we are meeting your transportation needs.
Wherever you need to go, let Roscoe know, and we'll take you there.
Call us today at 678-800-3976. Booking is going quickly. Book your next trip with us, and I'm telling you, you can't beat the price, and the transportation is awaiting you.
We have the best customer service. Contact Roscoe. Let us take you there.
Let us take you there today. This is Ortiz. We're looking forward to you booking your next trip, your vacation on our wonderful buses, vans, and SUVs. 678-800-3976.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
It is now time for the live broadcast of the NAACP with Gwenette, Westbrooks, and Mr. Dumas.
And good evening to you, and welcome to another segment of the NAACP Truth Show. I'm Willie Dumas, your host. We'll be joined later by President Westbrooks. I hope you had a great weekend and looking forward to a great week. A lot happening all across the nation, of course. We know that we just started in the month of February, which we're celebrating Black History Month. And so today, I wanted to make sure that we gave you some Black history. Today, we're going to talk about and honor Barack Hussein Obama, the second, who was born August the 4th, 1961. And he's an American politician and lawyer who served as the 44th president of these United States from 2009 to 2017. He was a member of the Democratic Party. He was the first African-American president in U.S. history. Obama previously served as a U.S. senator representing Illinois from 2005 to 2008. And so we give a shout out and remember our 44th president, Mr. Barack Obama. Today, we've got a guest with us. We got Mr. Desmond Brown that has joined us today. And Mr. Brown, you and I got a chance to see each other this past Friday at Mount Moriah.
Absolutely.
For a town hall meeting. And a lot of our listeners were not present.
That's correct.
And we're here today to let them know the importance of these town hall meetings. This particular town hall meeting, of course, we were discussing the third term of our mayor. And should there be a third term, we know that commissioners went ahead and voted to go along with that, and it's sent up to the Senate at the Capitol to make the determination as to if they're going to go in that direction. And so, if you would, can I give us a little overview of what took place at that town hall meeting that you and I attended on Friday?
Yes. First of all, I want to say it was wonderful that the pastor of Mount Moriah even opened his doors up.
Absolutely.
For town hall meetings. You know, Ms. Dumas, I think about how civil rights got started, You know, it started in the homes and then to the house of worship is what history tells us. And to see this wonderful, great church open up their doors for the community that they service in that area was wonderful. So shout out to the pastors for even allowing it.
Absolutely.
Second, I'm grateful for the two. That's right, two elected officials that came from the Capitol. You know, that they actually thought it not robbery to come out. That was Senator David Lucas and Floyd Griffith. They showed up, and it was raining, but it wasn't an excuse. We had a packed house that night, and people from East Macon and all around actually showed up because they are saying enough is enough. We want to know what's going on in our community and what can we do as a group to make it better as a whole. And what we heard at that, or what I heard, I heard a lot of frustration. The fact that though we had a low voter turnout and you're an elected official, we found out that they received invites. I think it was Tangi Herring, Miriam Paris, Dr. Nissa Jones. They didn't show up. And the people was just voicing that when they got up on the mic. They was not happy that elected officials receive an invite to a town hall meeting and didn't show up. So for me, I think that needs to be it needs to be addressed by you, the voters. If you attend a town hall meeting and you're coming because that's your chance to meet with your elected official that you put in office and they don't show up, then maybe you should send them an email and a letter to let you know that your concerns. Another thing that came out at the meeting was, in fact, what Floyd Griffin was reiterating on the Secretary of State being an elected official instead of appointed over the Board of Elections and whatnot. And, you know, for me, that received 2 thumbs up, you know, with what we just went through last year in the May elections and the November elections. And, you know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I have a vote of no confidence when we get numbers from the Macon-Bibb County Board of Elections, simply because if it's cyber attacks and people going to polls and they got barriers up, and we saw all of that last year, you know. So for me to get any numbers and there was no verification, that was very welcome by Floyd Griffin to say that that's one of the things he wants to do. Lastly, the actual SPLOS came up. And one of the things that I want to, I think the young lady in the back, I forget her name, but she asked a very important question in regards to what are the details of the SPLOS. That right there was a powerful question, because what we don't want is the SPLOS to get passed and now
the money and where it's going to go.
It go where it want to go, but then that was a good question now, Mr. Dumas. You know, if you're going to write a bill or pass a SPLOS, then the voters want to see, what are you going to allocate out of that $400 million? You know, what's going where? What's going here? You know, now we can see voting for something like that. So that was a great question on that SPLOS.
Exactly. And, you know, they also, the question came up about the vouchers, you know, with the private school
education. I'm split down the middle. I understood what Mr. Griffin was saying in regards to we need to fund our public schools. I'm as a graduate of Southeast High School, class of 1990, a public school. Yes, sir. But then it was a voter in the audience that got up and spoke, and I have to say he took me back to Progressive Christian Academy days.
Oh, absolutely.
You know daggum well, if y'all know Desmond Brown, his kids attended Progressive Christian Academy.
That's right.
In historic Pleasant Hill, 1879. How y'all doing? And for me to support a Black-owned educational institution like Dr. Betty Talbert founded and started, all my kids, I tell you, when they left Progressive Christian Academy, they were honor students. So I heard his side of saying, let's start our own school system. Let's get our own private schools going. He was like, we got enough retired teachers, enough retired counselors, enough retired school principals to where we don't need to worry about them funding public schools. If we can get together and start our own, now we can put Black history in the schools that talks about us. Right. So that right there moved the needle to the medium for me, Mr. Dumas. I'm like, hey, because you can't take that off the table.
Absolutely. And we know that the impact of schools like Progressive Christian Academy, later known as Hope Academy, and Cyrus Academy. You have
M.A. Evans,
M.A. Evans, yeah, right. These have been a staple in the community, and we've seen the results of what they produce in students. And so, as you mentioned, right. If that were the case, if we had enough private schools to address the population of our students here in Macon Bibb, then that could be a good go. But we don't know. At the present moment, we don't have those things, and we know we don't have those in place.
Right.
And so when you start talking about your larger private schools here in the mid-state, you're talking about a Stratford Academy.
They're fully funded.
Right, exactly.
Fully supported.
Exactly.
Alumni that's going to give,
right.
Scholarships and stuff. See, you're talking from the scratch. So that's why I said you can't take away from funding fully funded public schools, as opposed. I wish we could do them both.
Right.
That's me.
Exactly. Because there's a definite need. We know there are some needed improvements within the public school system. We heard some of those voiced at the town hall meeting on Friday. Some of it had to do with special needs children, getting the correct tools and having the support they need.
That's right.
To thrive in the school system. We also, heard about the lack of attention. Certain students require more attention than others in the classroom. And so,
and the classroom size was a real big topic.
Right. Yes. A real big topic.
10 students versus 30 students.
Exactly. And so these are the kind of things that you as a community, if you have children, you need to start attending these meetings. I'm sure people are attending some of the school board meetings, but you also have to look at that other layer, which is, when you start looking at the state capitol, and some of the decisions that will be made as it relates to the school.
Right.
You want to get the whole piece of the pie. You don't just want to get a little slice, but you want to get the whole piece. And so these town hall meetings are going to be held, all over the city. You need to keep your ears to the ground,
Absolutely.
and find out what's going on and where it's going on, and plug yourself in so you can get a good feel of what's really happening out here.
I'll say this, Mr. Dumas, when they have them, it was wonderful to see people coming to the meeting that wasn't just from East Macon.
Right.
I think we need, every time we hear a town hall meeting, show up. This is Macon Bibb, and pretty much what's happening in East Macon is going to be mirrored in West Macon. So come on out, South Macon. Come on out, North Macon. And with all the senators and representatives that was invited, they weren't just East Macon. They was West Macon as well as East Macon. So show up to be able to speak to them, because it's important that your voice be heard.
Exactly. I see we have a comment. Tangi Herring, Miriam Parrish, and Nessa Jones are not showing up and being present to answer questions is not a good sign. Maybe it is time to start finding new candidates to run in the Democratic primary next year. Well, we hope that was just some type of snafu on their behalf, and that you want to start the year off right. We're just a month into the year,
right? And
it needs to start out, because usually things taper off, as you go further into the year. And participation usually is, better towards the first part of the year. And we didn't, we didn't see that, and hopefully we're gonna blame it on the weather this time.
Right,
Yes,
we're gonna blame it on the rain.
Blame it on the rain.
But somebody get the word to them that it wasn't just one person. That was
right.
That was like the shot heard around the world. Everyone was like, "Where the representative?" Another guy, "Where the representative?" Another lady, "Where the representative?" It was like, okay, I'm glad I showed up.
Right. And the question was asked: was anything sent out to them to let them know that there was a town hall meeting? And of course, it was discussed that emails had gone out and they were contacted, and so.
Yes, shout out to Brother George Muhammad and
absolutely
Commissioner Stanley Stewart.
Right,
those gentlemen did a wonderful job of getting the message out. It was shared. I know I shared it on Facebook, and I'm glad that they actually was able to put it together. But according to them, they got documentation, they got emails. So,
yeah. So, we're hoping to galvanize this community. Because it's time.
It is.
There's so much division in the country, and our local communities are doing the same thing. And we got to stop that trend and start coming together, uniting to make, good decisions for the city.
That's right.
Good decisions for making BIB.
That's right.
And so you got to play your part. All individuals have to search their own selves and say, hey, do I need to engage in this? Does this affect me? Yes, it probably does. And so we're looking forward to people attending the upcoming town hall meetings that I know the NAACP, we will host some, and there will be others. Matter of fact, I think the Board of Education, the BIB Board of Education are already, holding these town hall meetings,
right,
discussing the vouchers and everything. So, plug in, see the pros and cons. Like you mentioned, once you hear the information, you can make a decision, an individual decision, an educated decision about, which way you would want them to go with that. And so it's important, to plug in.
That's correct.
But also, Brother Brown, when we look at, we had this discussion last week here on our show. The effects of DI, we're yet to see a lot of the effects of that across the country. We know that on a federal level, those things have already been instituted, and DEI affects a lot of different areas. And I think when you talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, a lot of people don't really know what that means. They don't know what that comprises. And so when you start looking at, your right, things like harassment in the workplace, people with disabilities being treated fairly,
that's right,
having access and those kinds of things. When we start peeling away at those kinds of things, we're really going backwards,
yes,
as far as the progress that particularly African Americans have made, over the years. And with February being, Black History Month, this should be the most, I guess, important thing on the forefront of our people,
yes,
as far as things being cut away that people before us have worked hard and diligently to put in place, and now these are being dissolved away from the current administration. So I'm sure everybody is kind of anxious to know how these types of laws are going to affect them along, down the line. And one way to find out those things is to attend your meetings for your city council, commissioners meeting rather. Plug in, and see how it's affecting you locally.
Absolutely,
because most of the time those things trickle down.
Yes.
We've been hearing about ICE raids, all over the country.
Yes.
And even in Macon. I understand there were some raids here in Macon as well. So these are changing times, and we've got to be diligent, and we've got to know our rights and understand our rights, because if you don't, it can easily slip away from you.
I mean, and that's a great segue in when you're talking about civil rights and know our rights. I remember coming up, Mr. Dumas, in Macon, we had black lawyers left and right.
Absolutely.
We need more black lawyers we need more. We need more carpenters, more brick masons and whatnot, but especially black lawyers that with a focus on civil rights, because this DEI is serious. It is serious. It is serious. You're going to feel it at the stores.
That's right.
In fact, I wish I had the news article about Target that I could share where they taking off all the black merchandise off of the shelves. And so the pastors and the NAACP, next thing you know, hey, Target and Walmart stocks are falling and Costco stocks is going up. So because Costco is not, I don't think, going along with it. So DEI is important. We need to pay attention to it. And we probably can't fight the battle across the nation, but here in Macon, we have some say in Middle Georgia, in Macon, Georgia, as Maconites, and we should make sure that stores who are operating in this county include everyone. Include all products, black, white, doesn't matter. Just and when it comes to job equality, that shouldn't take away from the worth of a human being.
Absolutely, and you're going to find your worth very easily this year. And so, you got to make sure that you value who you are.
That's right.
And continue that push. I also want to mention the crash that happened in DC. We lost a civil rights attorney in that crash from Kansas. She was a young attorney. And I had the article on my phone, but I don't have the access right now. But we do want to send condolences to everyone who lost their life, during that flight, and particularly, people who work and fight for justice in the form of a civil rights attorney, who also perished in that. And it's been questionable here late. President Westbrooks, I see you've joined us, and so you can chime in.
We're in a meeting together earlier,
right?
So, but I just want to make one, and I'm going to turn it because we'll have a few more minutes. I just want to make a couple announcements. This coming Sunday, the NAACP executive committees and officers will be installed in office at Greater Antioch Missionary Baptist Church. Services start at 11 o'clock. That address is 480 Greater Street. So we're asking for you to come out and witness the ceremony. Again, that's the NAACP Make a Bid branch officers will be installed in office. And that's at 11 o'clock at 480 Greater Street. And also, we have tickets for the gala. The NAACP's gala is February the 15th at 7 o'clock at the Porter Ellis on Houston Road. Tickets are $25. So we're asking for you all to please purchase tickets and support this organization. It takes money to run this organization. So we're asking for your support to purchase a ticket. And these tickets can be purchased on Eventbrite. If you need tickets, you can contact our office or contact me, 478-390-7759.
Absolutely. And looking for a great event and want to see your face.
Mr. Davis, be on it. Patrick, be on it. Thank you, Patrick.
Patrick, yeah.
He found it for me.
Right.
By Washington Post.
Where the Washington Post mentioned that Target's DEI cuts have black entrepreneurs saying, clear the shelves, owners of brands that the big box retailer championed before it rolled back DEI efforts, say a boycott would harm their brands and encourage customers to support them. We have buying power, and we have to exercise that power in such a way that is beneficial to us. I've been saying it for a long time.
We got spending power. We don't even realize what kind of power we got.
Right, and then in Macon, we have voting power as well. We just give up so much of our power.
Well, that's what excites me about this year. This first meeting that we had in the rain. Right. I want the listeners of NAACP Truth to know people came out in the rain.
That's right.
And if we continue to have a community meeting every month, you're going to see people want to get involved in not just community activity, but maybe politics. Because for me, I feel there needs to be training so that when I get to a point where I can't carry the torch, if you will.
Right.
We got someone that we can pass it on to.
Right.
Don't wait until the midnight hour and, oh my God, who are we going to put in the seat?
Well, like Dr. West said,
Right.
We would sleep at the polls in May and in June, but sometimes it takes something like this for us to wake up and realize, what we need to do. We need to handle business. We need to get out and vote.
They're getting energized in Macon because of these town hall meetings.
Patrick Davis said recalls and commissioners should be an option. Yeah.
And when they started talking about term limits, of course, that came up too, as far as extending the limits for commissioners. If you're going to change the charter for the mayor position, why not change it, for the commissioners as well?
I think what they're talking about changing here's a limit. At the same time, theirs would, but like I said, all these people went into the position knowing what the charter says, and so now they want to change it. So I don't know. It's making sense.
Absolutely. Well, we certainly appreciate everybody tuning in with us. Anything else you want to?
Brown,
hey, the whistleblower. I'm the whistleblower. The whistleblower here. I'm a proud member of the NAACP. I am, and I tell you, I hope more people join this wonderful organization. Civil rights is what we have. It is a must that we learn as much about our civil rights as possible. And my prayer that we have more Black lawyers coming out of this movement.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I hope so.
And you look around sometimes, you say, well, where are the leaders of Make It Big? What I mean by that, church leaders, civic leaders, we should all come together.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't just be, one organization.
Right.
It should be a combination.
Yeah, but back in the
leadership.
day, I look at these movies and autobiographies and I look at how it is now, how it used to be then when people came together.
Yes, we did.
They said that we're not gonna buy from this person. Everybody, they may did a picnic and feed everybody, community feed everybody. They didn't shop at a particular. They didn't ride the bus. They commuted. They actually, everybody. They took each other to work or wherever they need to go. Right. They didn't ride the bus. So, we got to get back to some of this stuff. They trying to take her back. Like I said, we need to go back with them.
Exactly. With the marching in the book. That's
we
right.
Need to go back with them.
And we had pastors that showed up too.
Yeah,
there were pastors. It wasn't just the host pastor. Now, I want your listeners to know this is wonderful. What I'm seeing in Macon in Middle Georgia. It's time out
get
for
more out. And I think a lot of time, especially when it comes to churches, ministers look at their, especially with their 501c3, and they're not supposed to be. But the NAACP is not a political organization.
That's correct.
And sometimes they identify us as, and we're not a political, we're nonpartisan. Also, we got the same rules they got as far as when it comes to endorsing candidates or anything like that. We don't endorse candidates. But as an individual, I can endorse who I want to endorse. So people got to understand that I'm a separate person from the NAACP. But
that's right. Absolutely.
The NAACP has the same status that the churches do. So one thing about me, I'm not going to lead you into anything that you shouldn't be led in. You can trust me on that.
Absolutely. And so I think our time is up, and we thank you all for tuning in.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
This is how I had a wreck, and this is how I got my check.
All right, get a check.